My fiancée texted, "I met with a lawyer to see how your inheritance works after we're married." I replied, "Smart." Then I called my dad, explained the situation, and had myself temporarily written out of the will. When her lawyer gave her the bad news, she frantically tried to backpedal. Original post. I, 29 male, got engaged to Jessica, 27, 8 months ago. We'd been dating for 3 years, living together for the last year and a half. Everything seemed pretty solid. We split bills, had similar life goals, the whole package. My family liked her family liked me. Wedding was set for next spring. Here's what you need to know. My dad owns a successful plumbing business. Nothing crazy like tech money, but he's done well. Built it from nothing over 35 years. My grandfather also left some properties when he passed 5 years ago. Combined with my parents' savings and investments, there's probably about $2.8 million in assets. I have one younger sister, so eventually that gets split. Jessica knew about the business and that my family was comfortable. I never hid it, but I also never flaunted it. I work as a project manager at a construction firm, decent salary, nothing spectacular. We lived within our means. Last Tuesday, I was at work when I got this text from Jessica. "Hey babe, had a really productive lunch meeting with a lawyer today. Wanted to understand how inheritance laws work in our state after marriage. Super interesting stuff. We should probably discuss estate planning soon." I stared at that text for a good minute. She went to see a lawyer about my family's money. Without mentioning it to me first, I texted back, "Smart." Then I called my dad. "Hey dad, need to talk to you about something. Jessica just texted that she met with a lawyer about how inheritance works after marriage." Long pause. "I see," he said. "What do you want to do? Can you write me out temporarily? Just until I figure this out? Come by the office after work." That evening, Dad had already called his lawyer. Within 48 hours, I was completely removed from the will. Everything would go to my sister Megan if something happened to my parents. The lawyer made it airtight but reversible. Meanwhile, Jessica came home that Tuesday night, all chatty about wedding centerpieces. Didn't mention the lawyer meeting at all. I didn't bring it up either. Just smiled, nodded, acted normal. Thursday, she was on her laptop in the living room when her phone rang. She looked at the number, then went to the bedroom to take it. I could hear her through the door. "What do you mean there's nothing? That can't be right, but his father owns." "Check again." "What about grandfather's? Nothing?" She came out looking pale. Sat down next to me. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just work stuff." Friday morning, the mask started slipping. "Hey, we should really talk about getting a prenup," she said over breakfast. "Sure. What brought this on?" "Just thinking about our future, making sure we're both protected." "Protected from what?" She fumbled with her coffee mug. Just general protection." "Okay, let's both get lawyers and draft something fair." Her face fell. "Both? I mean, we could use the same one. Save money." "Nah, that's not how prenups work. Each person needs independent representation." She dropped it, but I could see the wheels turning. Update 1. The next week was educational. Jessica started dropping weird hints about finances. Random stuff like, "Your dad's getting older. Have you guys ever discussed succession planning for the business? Megan seems really irresponsible. Hope your parents have safeguards in place. It's weird that your dad never officially brought you into the business, right?" Each time, I'd give vague non-answers. Dad's got it handled. Megan's doing fine. I like my job. Then came Saturday. Jessica's mom, Diane, called asking if we could come for dinner Sunday. Sure, why not? We get there, and it's not just dinner. It's Jessica, her parents, and her brother Kyle, the entrepreneur. He started 5 businesses, all failed. Diane starts, "So we wanted to discuss the wedding budget." "We're keeping it modest," I said. "The venue's already booked." Jessica and I agreed on $15K total. "Well, that was before we knew about your family's situation," Diane said. "What situation?" Jessica jumped in. "Mom, stop." "What?" "It's reasonable to expect his family to contribute more." "The groom's family traditionally." "We're not traditional," I interrupted. "Jessica and I are paying for our own wedding." Kyle snorted. "Must be nice, keeping all that family money while your future wife struggles." "Struggles? Jessica makes $65K a year, we're doing fine." "But with what you'll inherit," Diane started. "I'm not inheriting anything." Dead silence. Jessica's voice was sharp. "What?" I was removed from my parents' will earlier this week. Seemed like the responsible thing to do before marriage. The explosion was immediate. Jessica, what? When were you going to tell me? Why would I? It's my parents' money, not mine. Doesn't affect us. This is ridiculous. You can't just disinherit yourself. Actually, I can. Did. Done. Kyle, this is obviously temporary. You're just trying to protect assets. Protect them from what? I asked innocently. Jessica stood up. We need to leave. Now. The car ride home was silent until we got to our apartment. Then she unloaded. How could you do this without discussing it with me? Like how you met with a lawyer without discussing it with me. She went white. That's different. I was just getting information. Information about money that isn't yours and might never be mine. Why would you need that information, Jess? For planning. Our future. Our future based on my parents dying? That's not. I didn't. You literally went to a lawyer to find out how much of my family's money you'd be entitled to. That's morbid as hell. She started crying. I just wanted to make sure we were secure. We are secure. We both have jobs. We have savings. What we apparently don't have is trust. She went to stay with her friend Amy that night. Update 2. Jessica came back Sunday afternoon with what I call the full court press. First, tears and apologies. I'm so sorry. I see how it looked bad. I just got scared about our future. Amy's husband left her with nothing in the divorce and I panicked. Amy's husband was a gambling addict who emptied their accounts. I don't gamble. I know, I'm being silly. Then, love bombing. Cooked my favorite meals all week. Kept telling me how much she loved me. Lots of physical affection. Kept mentioning how good we were together, how this was just a bump in the road. Wednesday, she hit me with, I've been thinking. You're right, the prenup is smart. Let's both get lawyers and do this properly. But you should get back in your parents' will. It's not fair to Megan to handle everything alone someday. Dad's decision, not mine anymore. But you could talk to him. Why would I? Thursday, her mom started texting me. Long guilt trips about how Jessica was devastated. How could I not trust my future wife? How marriage meant sharing everything. I didn't respond. Friday was when it got interesting. Jessica's laptop was open on the couch when she went to shower. A Facebook message popped up from Kyle. Did you try the emotional angle? Dad says if that doesn't work, maybe postpone the wedding until you can figure out the inheritance situation. I snapped a quick photo with my phone. When Jessica came out, I was packing a bag. Where are you going? My parents' house for the weekend. Need some space to think. Think about what? Whether I want to marry someone who's treating me like a lottery ticket she's trying to cash in. She panicked. That's not what this is. Then what is it? Security is important to me. No, Jess, my family's money is important to you. There's a difference. I left. She called 23 times that weekend. Her mom called 8 times. Kyle texted once, you're making a huge mistake, bro. No, Kyle, I'm avoiding one. Update 3. Stayed at my parents' house through Monday. Dad and I had some good talks. Mom made her famous lasagna. Megan found the whole situation hilarious. So she basically pre-divorced you for money you don't even have? That's next level. Tuesday morning, I went back to the apartment while Jessica was at work. Started dividing things up. Not packing yet, just mentally cataloging what was mine, hers, ours. Found something interesting in her desk while looking for the lease agreement. A printed email exchange with the lawyer she'd met with. 3 emails. First one, 3 weeks before she met with him. I need to understand inheritance laws and marital property rights. My fiancé's family has substantial assets. His reply, happy to help. Our consultation can cover spousal rights to inherited assets, commingling concerns, and strategic planning. Her response, perfect. Also interested in what happens if there's no prenup versus a standard prenup. 3 weeks. She'd been planning this for 3 weeks before meeting him. I grabbed my phone and documented everything with photos. Jessica came home around 6, saw me in the living room with the lease agreement out. What's that for? Figuring out the penalty for breaking it. She sat down slowly. Don't do this, please. Jess, you consulted a lawyer about my inheritance 3 weeks before you actually met with him. This wasn't a spontaneous worry. This was planned. How did you? Doesn't matter. What matters is you've been strategizing about my family's money like it's already yours. It would be ours when we're married. No, inheritance is separate property unless commingled. Your lawyer should have told you that. She was quiet. Then he said there were ways around that. Ways around it? Wow. That's not what I meant. What did you mean? She started crying again, but this time felt different. Desperate. I grew up watching my mom struggle. Dad's business never took off. We never had stability. When I met you, you were just this nice guy with a good job. Then I found out about your family and I thought finally, I wouldn't have to worry anymore. So you fell in love with my family's bank account? No, I fell in love with you. The money it made me feel safe. Safe enough to plan how to get access to it. I'm not a gold digger. No, you're worse. A gold digger is honest about the transaction. You convinced me you loved me for me. She grabbed my hands. I do love you. You love the idea of me, the me that comes with a trust fund that doesn't exist anymore. You could get it back. Your dad would put you back in the will if you asked. And there it was. The real Jessica. Get out. What? Pack a bag, go to your parents' or Amy's. I'll give you a week to find a place. This is my apartment too. Your name's not on the lease. You're a month-to-month tenant at best. Want to fight about it? We can do this legally. She stared at me. You've changed. You've become cold. Mean. No, I've become aware. Pack. Now. She threw things into a suitcase while sob-screaming about how I was throwing away our future, our love, our life together. As she headed for the door, she turned. You'll regret this. When you're 40 and alone, you'll realize you threw away someone who actually loved you over your paranoid trust issues. I'd rather be alone than be someone's retirement plan. She slammed the door. Update 4. The entitlement escalation was swift and spectacular. Wednesday, day after she left, got a call from our wedding venue. Jessica had called trying to cancel and get the deposit back. In her name only. The venue called me because I was the one who'd paid. Keep the date for now, I told them. I'll let you know by Friday. Why keep it? Because I'd lose the deposit anyway. Might as well think about it. Thursday, Jessica's dad, Robert, showed up at my work. We need to talk, man to man. About what? About you destroying my daughter over some misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? She consulted a lawyer about inheritance before we even set a wedding date. She's a planner. She likes to know things. You've traumatized her overdoing research. Research, right? He leaned in. You need to fix this. Get back in your family's will, marry my daughter, and stop this nonsense. Or what? Or everyone will know what kind of man you really are. Someone who abandons his fiancée over nothing. Good. Tell everyone. Tell them she met with lawyers about my inheritance. Tell them she tried to steal our wedding deposit. Tell them everything. He left, but not before muttering about how I'd rue this day. Rue? Who says rue? Friday morning, got an email from Jessica. Subject line, formal demand. She wanted her share of the wedding deposits that I paid entirely, compensation for emotional distress, 3 months of living expenses since I illegally evicted her. Her engagement ring back? Wait, I bought that. She wanted me to pay her for the ring I bought. I forwarded it to my cousin who's a lawyer. He laughed for 5 solid minutes on the phone. Please tell me you're not considering any of this. Just want it documented. Saturday, the social media campaign began. Jessica posted a sob story about how her narcissistic ex threw her out with nothing after she tried to plan for their future. Her friends and family shared it widely. I posted nothing. But Megan went nuclear. She posted the screenshots I'd sent her of Jessica's messages with the lawyer, Kyle's Facebook message about the inheritance situation, and a simple caption, "When you try to rob my family, then play victim." The comments section was a bloodbath. Some of Jessica's friends quietly deleted their supportive posts. Sunday, Diane called in tears. You've ruined her reputation. How could you let your sister do that? I didn't let her do anything. Megan's an adult. Take it down. Not my post. Then make her. Make a 26-year-old woman do something? You obviously don't know Megan. We'll sue for defamation. Truth is an absolute defense. Your daughter wrote those emails. She was just protecting herself. From what? My non-existent inheritance? Click. Monday, today as I write this, the piece de resistance. Jessica showed up at my apartment at 7 a.m. with a U-Haul and 3 guys. Told them I was her abusive ex and she needed to get her things while I was at work. Except I work from home on Mondays now. Post-COVID schedule. I opened the door to find her directing these movers toward my furniture. "That couch is mine," she was saying. "I have the receipt that says otherwise," I said. The movers froze. They wanted no part of this. Jessica went white. "You're supposed to be at work." "Schedule changed. Also, that's breaking and entering you're attempting." "I lived here." "Lived. Past tense. You have no legal right to be here now." The movers were already backing away. The lead guy said, "Ma'am, we can't take anything without proof of ownership." "I'll show you proof." She actually tried to push past me into the apartment. I stepped aside, let her in, then called 911. "I need police assistance. My ex-fiancé is in my apartment, refusing to leave." Jessica's face was shocked, Pikachu. "You called the cops? You brought 3 strangers to steal my furniture." She ran out before they arrived, left the U-Haul running in the parking lot. The movers had to come back for it, apologizing profusely, gave them $20 each for their trouble. Final update. It's been 2 months now since the U-Haul incident. Here's where everyone landed. Jessica moved back in with her parents. According to mutual acquaintances, she's telling everyone I financially abused her by hiding assets and manipulating the legal system. She's also apparently engaged again. Yeah. Already. Some guy she met on a dating app who treats her like the queen she is. I looked him up out of curiosity. He's 51, recently divorced, owns a car dealership. Good luck with that, buddy. Her family still occasionally sends nasty messages. I document everything but don't respond. My cousin says if they keep it up, we can file for harassment. Kyle tried to start rumors that I was mentally unstable and needed help, but nobody who actually knows me bought it. He's still living at home, working on business idea number 6, something about NFTs for pet photos. I'm sure that'll be the winner. The wedding venue? Turned out my buddy Trevor had been planning to propose to his girlfriend. Sold him the reservation at a discount. Went to their wedding last month. It was beautiful. Jessica wasn't invited but somehow found out and posted about how I was rubbing her face in it. I wasn't. I was just eating chicken marsala and doing the electric slide. My dad did eventually put me back in the will, but with some new provisions. Any inheritance gets placed in a trust that can't be accessed by a spouse for 5 years after marriage. Smart man. Me? I'm doing all right. Therapy helped process the betrayal. Started dating someone new last month, a pediatric nurse named Grace, who actually insisted on splitting our first date bill because it's 2024, not 1950. Refreshing change. The ring? Sold it. Used the money for a killer home theater setup. Every time I watch a movie on my 75-inch OLED, I think about how Jessica's greed bought me this beautiful TV. It's petty, but it makes me smile. Looking back, the red flags were there. The way she'd make jokes about being a kept woman once we were married. How she suddenly became interested in my dad's business after we got engaged. The way she'd point out expensive things and say, "When we're rich someday." I thought she meant when we built something together. She meant when my parents died. The entitlement was always there, just hidden under a mask of love and affection. The moment she thought she had me locked down with an engagement, the mask started slipping. Thank God she got impatient and showed her hand before the wedding. To anyone reading this, if your partner starts meeting with lawyers about money that isn't even yours yet, run. If their family treats your family's hard-earned success like a lottery ticket, they're entitled to cash, run. If they love your potential inheritance more than you, definitely run. Trust your gut. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. And Dad? He still jokes about it. Best $2.8 million I never had to spend on your divorce. Thanks, Dad. You're not wrong.